Hello and welcome to Tauros All Access. I'm Evan Epstein alongside assistant coach Tyler Ebner. Coach, Tauros split the past weekend against the Bruins this past weekend. Starting on Friday, it seemed that the Huber Clark ejection was the turning point in that game. What did you think about Clark's hit on Alex Lorenza?
I think it's something that hopefully our entire team can take in terms of game management. I don't think it's 2-1 game with right around 5 minutes left in the game. There's really no reason to make that hit as big as it was. If it's earlier in the game, I have no problem with him making that hit. But in a close game where we're up a goal, probably don't need to make it as big of a hit as he did.
The Bruins failed to score 5-on-5 on Friday, but 5 goals that came 4-on-4 or on the man advantage. What allowed the Bruins to continue to convert on the power play?
Well, I mean, you look at the last goal. Obviously, it was an empty net. One was 4-on-4, like you said. I think their fourth goal was off the rush. So it wasn't so much that it was specifically the power play that caused it, but obviously you have to limit the amount of chances that you give them in terms of man advantages, right? I think the first one, I thought we did an okay job positionally. Guys were in the right spots, but little details in terms of stick positioning, allowed them to get pucks and bodies to the net and ended up getting one to go in.
You mentioned limiting the penalty kill for the Tauros. Tauros gave up just one power play opportunity on Saturday to the Bruins. What shift did you see from Friday into Game 2 on Saturday?
I think our mentality in terms of the way we approached the game shifted. I think guys were, for lack of a better term, a little bit pissed off from the night before because I think guys, we played well and we didn't end up getting the result that we wanted. And I think that allowed us to play with the right mindset on Saturday night.
On Saturday, Jack O'Hannesson and Jesse Holla combined for 16 shots on goal. What did you see from those two, both at full strength and then with that first power play unit?
Well, I mean, Jack's goal was example of that. I mean, I think they both had a few shots on that power play each together. And again, they're a high volume line where they get a lot of chances. They got one to go in on that power play, and 5-on-5, I thought they played really well down low in the O-zone.
Absolutely, and the Bruins, as we saw this past weekend, one of the most physical teams in the Central Division. How do you think the Tauros handled that physicality over these past 2 weekends now?
Okay, inconsistent, but okay. I thought, when we have the mentality that we had on Saturday night, the physicality that they bring is fine. We'll play right through it. When we don't, and we don't get to the front of the net, and we don't limit their amount of chances and time and space, it becomes very difficult.
With the Aberdeen Wings now coming up this weekend, Tauros are 5-1 against the Wings so far this year. What has been the key to success against Aberdeen?
It's very similar against Austin, right? They're going to get, in their O-zone, our D-zone, they're going to put 2 guys in front of the net and get a lot of pucks, put pucks on net from anywhere. And that's, again, something that we didn't necessarily struggle with, but we struggled with at times against Austin the last 4 games. So that, again, is something that we're going to have to really key in on and take some pride in front of our net and take some pride in front of their net in terms of getting pucks and bodies to the net as well.
Yeah, you talk about how to defensively approach the Wings. This is now a Wings team that is averaging over 5 goals a game over their past 5 games. How do you slow down that offense?
I think, again, you have to close quickly and not give them that time and space because very similar to Austin, they might be behind the goal line. And, yeah, in a normal situation, that's not something that you really need to worry about. But they're going to throw the puck to the net, and they tend to have at least one guy there all the time in their O-zone. So that's, again, we have to take pride of taking care of the front of the net and getting sticks, getting bodies away from Swedes and Mazenko. And again, the faster we can close and get pins and get stalled pucks, I think the better chance we'll have at exiting the zone.
You talk about how the two teams, the Wings and the Bruins, play pretty similarly. Playing them in 6 of the last 8 games down the stretch, do you think that helps the Tauros ready for the postseason?
Oh, absolutely. Aberdeen and St. Cloud are in a tight race, right? And Austin and Aberdeen are very similar into they play a very physical, get pucks to the net type of game. And that's what it's going to be the rest of the way, right? You have to limit the amount of chances the other teams get, and these past what's going to be six games have really helped us.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you so much for coming on Tauros All Access today. As we've been talking about, Tauros go to Aberdeen this weekend to play at the Odie. Then they return home Friday, April 11th to take on the Bismarck Bobcats in the final regular season series of the year. Scan that QR code. It'll take you to the Tauros link tree. Get your tickets as well as merchandise, anything you need Tauros there. And with that, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow.